The reason that acquiring wealth can take years or even decades is due to the fact that most people don't take advantage of the power of leverage, according to Robert Kiyosaki. There are many types of leverage, and it involves the use of outside resources to obtain greater personal effectiveness, which help achieve a desired result. Military leaders leverage soldiers, business owners leverage their employees, and banks leverage customer savings to make loans. Without the power of leverage, one is limited to the personal ability, strengths, and knowledge of only one person. While an individual might be a professional in one or two categories, it's unlikely that their knowledge expands far beyond that. In order to be most effective and productive, it doesn't make sense to do everything yourself, but instead find ways to leverage work, time, money, knowledge, and so on to be more productive and accomplish more in the same amount of time. Doing everything yourself is a very limiting mindset, leading only to mediocre achievement. Here are 5 of the main types of leverage that help the rich become wealthy very quickly when used properly. If you enjoy videos about money, personal finance, and investing, all topics that will help you better your financial future, consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification icon to be notified of new videos. Other people's work. Leveraging people's work is a very popular form of leverage and a strategy that any business owner who has employees uses. Hiring someone to perform a task and paying them less than the task brings in revenue is doing just that. By having employees run a business such as a restaurant illustrates this. Cooks prepare the food, servers wait on the customers, the bartender makes the drinks, the busperson cleans the table, and the manager oversees each task, all at a combined cost of less than the price of the meal. The restaurant owner leverages people's work to gain a financial advantage because it wouldn't be sensible, never mind possible, for one individual to perform all of these tasks. If it were, only 1 or 2 customers would be able to be served at any given time. The owner knows it's possible to accomplish more by employing the work of others. Leveraging other people's work is critical to provide the product and service on a larger scale. Another example of leveraging someone's work is when a car salesman sells a vehicle and is paid a commission for doing so. The car dealer might pay the salespeople $300 for selling each car, and there could be a dozen salespeople selling a car or 2 each day. The cost of compensation for the salesperson is below the cost of the sale of the item, especially when the dealer is making thousands on each vehicle. Besides, it wouldn't be possible for the owner of the dealership to show customers a variety of cars and take them on test drives, work out the numbers to make a deal, arrange financing or payment, sell extended warranties and accessories, and have the car presented to the customer all himself. This leverages the sales ability of the employees to make a profit on the product or service, while the owner focuses on managerial tasks, ensuring the business operations run smoothly. Other people's money. Most everyone leverages other people's money by using loans to purchase items. It could be using the money to buy a car, a personal home, or to finance a project such as purchasing a rental property, which will be considered good debt, that which will earn you more money instead of costing money. In the latter case, a leverage mortgage brings a return to the investor without using all of his or her private funds. Instead, it's usually 70 or 80% of the bank's money. A real estate investor would purchase a 100-unit rental property, say for $5 million, but he knows that it would take a very long time to save that money himself, even when earning a high income. Instead, he could use his money as a down payment and borrow the rest from a bank, requiring him to come up with much less money. The mortgage and other costs associated with the property are less than the rent income, and the landlord has successfully leveraged other people's money, or in this case, the bank's money. If the investor doesn't have any money of his own to put towards the 100-unit apartment, he could present the investment to others looking for opportunities to make money. The group of interested investors could fund the down payment and the bank would fund the rest of the purchase. There are also companies that pool the money of hundreds or thousands of investors and buy properties without a loan from a bank at all. In theory, the investor who presented the deal will have leveraged money using little to none of his own. By using other people's money, the real estate investors can purchase multiple properties as soon as others agree to pledge their money for the investment. Think of how long it would take an individual to save up $5 million to fund a single building. versus how long it takes to borrow the money from a bank and other willing investors, or just pool a group of investors to fund the project entirely. Instead of spending decades building up the needed capital, the investor could spend that time funding the project with other people's money, all while making money for himself too. This makes it much quicker to move on to the next project to earn more money. Think of how long it would have taken to build Walmart or Amazon without the power of leveraging money. It's not unlikely that those companies would still be in the startup stages if outside investors hadn't pledged their money. After all, each company in the stock exchange has gone public in order to raise funds and obtain other people's money to expand the business. When people deposit their money into their checking and savings account, it doesn't just sit there unused. The bank pays you a small interest rate, which usually doesn't even keep up with the average rate of inflation, and lends the money to borrowers who are purchasing a new car, buying a home, or using credit cards. The interest rate the bank charges is much higher, maybe 3 to 30%, depending on the loan type, than what they pay in interest. Other people's time. There are seemingly unlimited amounts of businesses and individuals that earn their money from selling their time. A bookkeeper sells their time to people so those people can free up some time in their lives and perhaps devote more effort to things that will provide them with a better return. You would hire a cleaner to clean your house once or twice per month, so you don't need to spend 1 or 2 days per month mopping floors, washing windows, and cleaning toilets, but instead spend that time managing employees, delegating tasks, choosing investments, and finding new sources of income to add to your life. Things that will provide a much better return on your time. If your time at work is worth $50 an hour and you can pay someone $25 an hour to clean your home, where is your time best spent? The same thought process applies to bookkeeping. If you can pay someone $25 an hour to take care of your books, why spend time doing that when you could focus on earning $50 per hour, potentially with the opportunity to scale that income to much more? This is the thought process of business owners. Spend your time doing what you're good at and the tasks that would provide you with a high return. Then hire out the smaller jobs that would otherwise eat up valuable time. There are only so many hours we can spend working during any given week, so it's important to use that time wisely. Other people's experience. This is one of the best resources available, as it allows you to benefit from the knowledge and experience of others without having to learn each individual task yourself. It's a complete waste of time to try to learn each and everything yourself by studying and then using trial and error. You're usually better off seeking the assistance of a professional in that particular field, especially when your time becomes more and more valuable when focused on business and investments. When you need someone to fix the transmission in your car, do you spend hours and hours researching the entire system and the procedure to attempt to fix it, regardless of the tools needed? Or would it make more sense to call your mechanic and have the shop fix the car in a fraction of the time, while your effort is focused on something that you're good at, whatever that may be? Just take a look at some help wanted ads. The ads commonly state a minimum amount of experience necessary or preferred. This is because the business hiring wants to leverage the experience of new help, someone who has something to offer and that can improve the business. The same can be said for hiring a CPA or certified public accountant. CPAs spend years going to school to study the tax code and are continually educated to ensure they fully understand the rules. Yet people continue to do their own taxes online to save a small amount of money. By hiring a CPA, the job will likely get done faster and they will probably save you money at the same time. So if it costs $1,000 to hire a CPA to do your taxes, but they save you $5,000 by using deductions that you would have overlooked, it's a good bang for your buck. It really wouldn't make sense to spend years learning the tax code either, when CPAs can be hired for a reasonable amount of money. At first, when your time seems to be worth very little, consider that when your time is focused on something productive and scalable, its value has the tendency to snowball over time. When Jeff Bezos started Amazon, his time probably wasn't worth much on paper, but as he continually worked at growing the company, the worth of his time grew exponentially. Other people's ideas. Most of us have seen someone else's creative idea and had our own thoughts on how we could improve or do something similar that would create some income. Opening a franchise is an example of using someone else's successful ideas to earn some money. An entrepreneur could reinvent the wheel by creating the next new McDonald's restaurant chain, or they could purchase a franchise and enjoy the benefits of someone else's ideas, while the teams at McDonald's headquarters consistently come up with new menu and marketing ideas to increase sales. While it's possible for a single individual to mimic the business model of McDonald's, it would be very difficult to mirror the new product lines and marketing ideas that are persistently being perfected. Big companies have marketing teams to create clever marketing campaigns and who are continually creating new ways to reach more people and leave an impression. Development teams focus on new products and opportunities, and they are usually very creative. It wouldn't make sense for the CEO to do these tasks solely by himself, especially if that isn't one of his strong suits. It's much more effective for the CEO to focus on what he's great at doing, such as running and developing the company, instead of focusing on these smaller tasks. The most successful people don't become so by doing everything themselves, working and studying each minute task that needs doing. If they did, their entire day would be spent doing things that are insignificant in relation to the entire system. While they certainly have things they're good at, they are generally excellent at finding others who can specialize on specific tasks that must be completed at a cost that will ultimately be beneficial. Hiring people who are fantastic at product development and marketing will help a business grow alongside other successfully leveraged teams. If obtaining wealth relatively quickly is something you're interested in, taking advantage of the extreme power of leverage is critical. You can get rich using your own money, but it usually takes a very long time when compared to leveraging ideas, money, work, and experience. Just look at a successful business and see how the owner or CEO focuses on the daily tasks of running the business while they harness the power of leverage. When business teams are leveraged properly, sales, revenue, and production levels can scale independently of the owner. How nice would it be to have managers running your company working to increase the sales and profit, while you as an owner mainly focus on ensuring the systems are running smoothly? Like with anything, there is certainly a balance to achieve the right amount of leverage, but when done successfully, victory will come much quicker.